Good morning. In this video, we will be discussing the language of the computer, one topic in this chapter 2, which is procedure. So, already in the previous class, we discussed the procedure. Procedure or a function is one tool programmers use to structure the program. To make it easy, to make the program easy to understand and to reuse the code. Like if you want to do certain operation for many times, then you can put it in the procedure or a function and then you call many times. Procedures allow programmer to concentrate on one portion of the task at a time. Okay, and then the procedures can receive parameters from the caller. So parameters act as an interface between the procedure and the caller. I mean the main program, the calling segment. And also they can return the values back to the calling segment. And when you are calling a procedure in MIPS, we need to concentrate on these 6 steps. Like when a procedure is going to receive parameter, so the parameters has to be placed in a registers, like register A0, register A1, register A2, register A3. And then we transfer the control to the procedure using an instruction called jump and link. In the next slide, we will discuss about that. Acquire the storage resources needed for the procedure. Like if you are using the saved registers or the temporary register, then we need to put them in the stack. We need to keep them in the stack. This point number 3, we will discuss it in the after few slides. Perform the desired task. That means the procedure has going to do certain task, so do those tasks, like write the statements or instructions for those tasks. And if a procedure is going to return a value, you keep them in registers V1 and register V0. Return the control to the point of origin. After you finish with procedure, the control has to be returned back to the calling segment. So it won't be going by default automatically. So you need to write an instruction called jump register to return the control back to the calling segment. So these are the 6 steps. We already discussed these six steps in our previous practical class. So this is the one I was telling. When the procedure is going to take parameters, all those parameters has to be kept in the registers A0, A1, A2, A3. And if a procedure is going to return values, so those return values needs to be placed in register V0 and V1. And this is the register RA, which is going to have the return address. Like the procedure, after finishing the procedure, the control has to be transferred back to the calling segment. So where to return? That address is going to be in this procedure. Okay, sorry, that address is going to be in this register. This will be automatically saved when you call the procedure using jump and link. So this is the instruction jump and link. So jump and link, it jumps to a particular address. Like here, jump and link procedure label. So it jumps to the instruction with a label, procedure label. At the same time, it saves the address of the next instruction in register RA. So it does 2 things. This instruction does 2 things. First, it transfers the control to the instruction with the label which is given in the instruction. It transfers the control to that label. Okay, and at the same time it saves the address of the next instruction which is following the jump and link. Okay, address of the next instruction in register RA. RA means return address. Okay. So actually how it saves the address of the next instruction. How does it know the address is? Actually, you might have know one thing, like there is a register called PC. PC means program counter. So this PC is an instruction that is going to have the address of the current instruction being executed. So if you want the address of the next instruction, so you add 4 to the PC value. Okay. When you add 4 to PC value, it will be the address of the next instruction following the jump and link. In that way, MIPS saves the address of the next instruction in register RA. And when a procedure finished its task execution, it has to return, the control has to be returned or transferred back to the calling segment. So we need to write an instruction called jump register RA. It's fixed. You don't have to change anything. Register RA contains the return address. Like this is the one I said before in the previous slide. Address of the next instruction. It is saved in register RA. So jump register, it jumps to a particular instruction with the address, that the address is in this RA, register RA. So what is the address saved in register RA? So to that address the jump instruction moves. I mean to say the control will be transferred to that address. That's the idea of jump register. So what it will do, it will copy the address saved in register RA to the program counter, which is PC, because program counter is the one going to contain the address of the instruction currently being executed. Okay. So this is the meaning of the jump register instruction, what it does. Okay, the calling segment or the calling program or caller puts the parameters like it want to send some parameter, pass some values. So those values needs to be kept in register A0, A1, A2, A3. And while jump followed by a label jumps to a particular procedure. And the callee means the procedure. Procedure is another name, we can call it calling segment. Okay, the callee performs the calculations or whatever it performs the task the procedure is supposed to do. And sometimes the procedure returns a value, so those values are kept in the registers V0 and V1. If you have only one value to be returned, you choose any of them. Okay. And it returns the control to the calling segment using jump register RA instruction. Sometimes if you want to have more parameters, in the previous slide I was telling that registers are going to pass, used to pass the parameters or register A0, A1, A2, A3, like 4 registers, 4 values. Okay. Sometimes in case compiler needs more register for a program, like not 4 arguments. I want to transfer 5, 6 values to the procedure. I want to pass 5 values to the procedure. Or sometimes procedure can return 2 values. Like you use the register V0, V1. Like the procedure is going to return many values. Okay, like 4 values, something like that. So you are going to use more registers than 4 argument or 2 return values. So in this case, any register that are needed by the caller must be restored to the values that they contained before the procedure is called. Okay. So that means that we need to spill the register to memory. Mean to say we transfer the register values to memory. That's the meaning of spill registers to memory. So the data structure that we are going to use for spilling the registers to memory, we are going to use a stack. Stack means first in first out data structure. Which comes first will be, first in last out. Which comes first will be moved last. Or else you can even call this way. First in last out or last in first out. Which comes last will be taken out first. Something like that. Actually stack, it needs the pointer. So that pointer what we call it like top always points to the top of the stack, Onto the top we push values or we pop values. Okay, so that's what you call here pointer. So stack needs a pointer. Okay. So the stack pointer is going to be adjust one word every time when a register is saved inside the stack, or sometimes whenever the register is restored. Restored means taken out. Push means you are putting the value inside the stack. Pop means we are taking out a value from the stack. That's the idea. So saving, restoring. So just keep it in mind. Saving means you are pushing a value. Restoring means you are popping a value from out of the stack, something like that. Actually, MIPS software reserves register number 29. You know there are 32 registers in MIPS architecture. So the 29th register number 29 is for the stack pointer. The name of that register is register SP. S means stack, P means pointer. Okay. So this is what I was telling, that pushing a value, placing a value or inserting a data onto the stack is called push. Deleting or removing a data from the stack is called pop. Okay. Normally when you look into pushing, popping, push means you put a value, is it? So supposed to be it grow. The stack grows, is it? But here in MIPS it's in a different way. Like if you are going to push value onto the stack means you are going to subtract the stack pointer. Okay, just keep it in mind. You don't think that pushing means the stack pointer will grow. Let's say stack pointer is in 0. So 0 plus 4. No, it's 0 minus 4. Something like negative. Okay. So that means adding to the stack pointer means shrinking because you are subtracting. And popping from the stack pointer is going to be growing. Just keep this point. Popping means growing. Pushing means shrinking. Keep this point. It looks like other way opposite, but just keep that point in mind. Because every time when we push a value, we decrement the stack pointer. So calling conventions for the MIPS. The MIPS calling convention specifies how the various registers are to be used. Okay. So the V registers are for return values, A register is for the arguments, and there are some other things we are going to use, the T registers. T register means like T0, T1, T2, they are all called caller saved registers, and we have registers like S0, S1, S2, S3, S4, they are all called callee saved register. Callee means procedure, caller means the main segment. Okay. So the difference between the callee and the caller, the callee saved register and caller saved register. So what's the difference between that is, when calling a function means procedure. When you are calling a function, the calling convention guarantee that S registers are same after return, whereas the convention doesn't guarantee for the T register. Okay. So remember that S register is going to be the same after the return, but it's not the same case for the T register. T register means like caller saved registers. Okay. This means that if you wish to use the S registers, you must save that value in a stack and then you restore the value later. Okay. So this is the idea. Let's look into one example. For example, if function A uses the register, let's say function A is going to use caller saved register and callee saved register. One example, register T0 and register S0. Okay, T0 is caller saved register, S0 is callee saved register. Okay, let's assume you have a function. Let's assume you have a function that's name is procedure, that name is A, and that's having two registers, that's going to use two registers. In this function procedure A, it calls another function. For example, B, it calls a function. And it must say, what it has to do is, it has to save the register T0 if it wants to use it after function B returns. Okay, so this is the idea. So you need to save the register T0 in case if you would like to use that register T0 after coming back from the register, after coming back from function B, I mean procedure B. This is one thing. Function B, what it has to do, it has to save register S0 before it begin to use it. Okay, so this is the idea. Caller has to save the caller saved register and callee has to save callee saved register. Okay, so that's the idea. Who is saving it? So T registers are saved by the caller and S registers are saved by the callee. So this is the idea. So function A is the caller, function B is the callee. So function A saves the register T0, caller is saving, and S0 is saved by the callee, function B. Okay, so this is the idea. Let's look into one simple example. Here is one example like it's a state segment given in a high level language. Okay, like integer leaf example, integer G, H, I, J, etc., etc. And here integer F, and then there are some calculations and it returning a value. Okay, then fine. So here these are the 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 values passed to the function or procedure called leaf example. And there is a local variable inside the procedure and there got some calculations and it returns a value back to the calling segment. Okay then. So MIPS assembly code equivalent of this one, you can try to write it. Okay. You can convert this segment written in high level language, C language. You can convert the C segment to a MIPS segment. So these are the parameters and this is the body of the procedure and the procedure is returning a value. Okay, so these are all given here. G, H, I, J are going to be the argument parameters. So you need to keep them in these register. So there is a variable F is used inside the procedure. So you can have it. So callee is using. So maybe you can keep it in register S0. And you can return the value. So when you are returning the value, put the value of S0 in B0. Okay, something like that. Okay, so let's look into other example. Like here you have a temporary variable F and then you have some calculation. You are adding something. So this addition value I am going to keep it in a register and I am adding I and J. So I am going to keep it another register and the subtraction of this and this I am going to keep it in register F. So I am going to use 3 register. One for F, one for this addition, one for this second addition. Okay then, so 3 registers I am going to use here. So let's see the same example. So I am going to use how I'm going to use the registers. Okay then, so let's see the example. So the idea here is, so the next step is to save the registers used by the procedure. The procedure is going to use a certain register. One for the first addition, one for the second addition and the final answer in F. So 3 registers I am going to use for example. So we need to save 3 registers. Maybe you can choose something like S0, T0, T1. So if you are using this, you need to push the old values onto the stack by creating the space for 3 stack. Okay, so 3 words in the stack. So you need to create a space for 3 words. So I told you already, if you are using the stack pointer needs to be adjusted to accommodate 3 values. So there is a register called SP. SP is the stack pointer. So you just try to accommodate accommodate the stack pointer so that it can hold three values. Okay, so it means to say that one word takes 4 byte. So 3 word means 4 into 3, 12 byte. So SP minus 12. I told you already. When you are adjusting, you need to subtract. Is it? So SP equal SP minus 12. So in this way, you are adjusting the stack to make a room for 3 values or 3 elements. Okay then. Now the idea is you need to push the old values of the registers. What are the registers I'm going to use? I'm going to use T1, T0, S0. So keep those old values in the stack. How are you going to keep it? Push the values onto the stack. Pushing. Okay. So remember when you are pushing, the address is going to be decremented. Okay, remember. So there are 3 elements. So 3 elements means 0 and then plus 4, 4 plus 4, 8. So the first element will be in the address 8. In the second element minus 4 and the third element minus 4. So 8 and then 4 and then 0. So this is the way you are going to push. Very simple. You know already the store word. So you just use the store word. The store word means what? You have a data in a register, you are moving into the memory. That is the meaning of store word. This is what we call pushing. You have a data in a register and you are moving. So for pushing, you are going to use the store word instruction. Okay. The base address is the SP, register stack pointer. So after you push the 3 values onto the stack, now you try to do the procedure. In the procedure, you have 2 addition, 1 subtraction. So with the value of the parameter, we are adding A0 and A1 and adding A2 and A3 and subtract those value. Okay. So here you see that the new value of T0 will be the addition of this. New value of T1 will be something like this. New value of S0 is here. So these are the new values of something. But after you return the value, after you return, we can still get back the old value of register T0, T1 and then S0 because you already saved it in the stack. So you can easily pop out from the stack and you can continue using those old values. Okay, remember that point. So if you are returning a value, you just move that value to register V0. See, where is the answer? Answer is in register S0. So I am adding S0 plus 0 is equal to S0. Where I am keeping it in register V0. So this is the way we are returning the value or the final answer to the calling segment. Now let's move on to the global pointer register, which is called GP. You know, we used one pointer called SP. Register number 29 is for the SP. Now we have one other register called GP. What is GP? Global pointer register. Okay. Actually, in a variable in C is in a location in storage, and its interpretation depends both on its type and the storage class. That is about the C. Characters and integers has 2 storage classes, maybe automatic or static. This is about C language. It's okay, we don't have to bother about this. Automatic variables are local to the procedure and are discarded when the procedure exists. Okay, let's assume that you have some automatic variables. They are local to the procedure. When you have something called a local variable, it will be, you can retain those values until the procedure is active. If you come out of the procedure, those values are discarded. Okay, this is about the local variables. Static variables exist across exit from an entry to the procedure. So static variable exists. Okay. So here in MIPS, to deal with the local variables or the static variables, we have a register, a reserved register called global pointer, which is called register GP, to access the static data. Okay. So here the final complexity is that the stack is also used to store variables that are local to the procedure. If you have any local variable in a procedure, you can keep it in the stack. You can push it onto the stack. But do not fit in registers such as local arrays or structures. So the segment of the stack containing the procedure's saved register and the local variable is called procedure frame. Okay, remember that segment is called procedure frame or activation record. Can you see from this slide, when you are talking about the memory, the low address is down here. So mean to say it has a big address on the top and it decreases. At the end of the memory down here you will have the low address, which is 0. Just keep it in mind. Here, how do you allocate the space for a new data onto the stack? So how do you allocate? So we just saw automatic variables, which is local variables, local to the procedures. Okay, so in the stack, the stack starts in the high end of the memory and grows down. Can you see here? Stack starts in the high end of the memory and it grows down. So it is like the address of the stack is going to be less and it will reach 0. Can you see here? It reaches 0. So here there are many segments in the stack. Can you see here? There are 4 segments. This one is stack and dynamic data, and then static data, and then text and reserved data. So the bottom of the stack we have the reserved data. The low end of the memory is reserved, followed by the text. Text means the instructions. That is what you call text segment. Followed by the static data, which is local to the procedure, and then on the top the high end of the memory is for the stack and the dynamic data. That's for the stack and the dynamic data. So what is the stack and the dynamic data here is, let's look into the stack and the dynamic data here. Allocation allows the stack and heap to grow towards each other. So stack, I told you already, stack grows downwards. So this is what I said in the beginning also, the stack grows downwards. The dynamic data grows upwards. So when you have these two type of data in the first segment of the stack, so they manage each other. They allow the efficient use of the memory because they are the two segments undergo alternative increment or decrement. Okay, stack will be incremented, dynamic data will be decremented. Okay then. Okay, let's see one example for the procedure. Here this procedure, what are we going to do? There is a segment given in C language. This is a function given in C language. Can you see? Name of the function is swap. It's not going to return any value. There are 2 parameters. So I'm going to pass 2 values. What are the values I'm going to pass? It is V of mean array. Okay, you are going to pass an array along with K. K is the index of an element in the array. So what is the meaning of this procedure is, let's assume that I'm passing an array with an index. Let's say the index is 2. So the array is V. So V of 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to swap V of 2 with V of 3. See, V of 2, K value is 2 means V of 2. With the V of K plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. V of 3. So I'm swapping the value. Swapping means, Like for example, we are swapping something between you and me. So what I have will be given to you, what you have will be given to me. That's what you call swapping. Can you get the idea? So what the v of k contains, that value will be moved to v of k plus 1. So what was the k plus 1 value before, that will be assigned to v of k. Swap the two values. That is the idea. So the procedure takes two parameters, which is the array address. Okay, this one is array address. The beginning address. You know, array starts from somewhere, that beginning address, plus k means the index. Can you see here? Index. Inside the bracket I am using. So that is the k value. Okay, for that swapping example, the function was given in C language and we are going to do it in the MIPS. Okay, in the slide there got some explanations for the each step, and I'm going to show you the program here. So let's assume that I have an array of 3 integers. So A is an array, and word means integer array. Okay, and the initial values are given here 10, 20, 30. So there are 3 elements in the array, and here B is going to represent the index. So I want to swap array of A of 1 with A of 2. That is the idea of this method or program. Like swapping A of 1 with A of 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. I'm going to swap. Okay. So here this is A of 0, this is A of 1, and this is A of 2. Do you get the idea? So I'm going to swap the A of 1 with this. So what does it mean? After the program finished execution, first value is not touched, second value will become 30, third value will become 20. So we will be swapping the A of 1 with A of 2. The value will be changed, swapped. Okay. So what are we going to do here is, in the text directive, let me find out the address of the array A, and I'm going to put it in register A1. What does it mean? If you keep a data in register R1 means I'm passing a value to procedure. Passing value to procedure. This is the meaning. Even, can you see here LW, register A2 comma B. What is in B? B contains the index. Let me write, this is the index. So, the B value, which is 1, is moved to register A2. So, I am passing two values. So, passing value to procedure. So, here I am passing two value to procedure. Fine. Now I am calling the procedure by using this jump and link instruction. So, it will go to the label called swap. Okay, what I am doing here, I want to take A of k, because what is my question? A of k swap with A of k plus 1, is it? A of k, what is the value of k here? This is index. Index means k. So what is the value of k? K is equivalent to 1. So I need to take the value from A of 1. Okay, take the value from A of 1. So take the value from A of 1 and moving into the register. So when you are taking a value from memory, normally you think that memory to register is load word. Yeah, fine, that is good. So maybe you say register T1 and you need to write an offset. Do you know the offset? We don't know the offset. Offset means here you need to write a number, kind of. Okay. So if you would like to write the number, yeah, what you can do here is, I want to load the value from A of k. So take the value A of k, keep it in one register. Take the value A of k plus 1, keep it in one register. So I am taking a value from memory. So that is load word, is it? So this is the way you load the word and this is the destination register, and this is source. So what is the source here? 0 comma register T1. So T1 should contain the address. So let's look into the top. What I am doing, I am multiplying the array value. A2 means where is A2? Here it is. Sorry, the index value. So multiply the index by 4, and that value T1, that value you add it with register A1. So when you do all these things, you will come to the address register T1. Okay, so that is the address where you have the A of k. So load the A of k to the register T2. Now I want A of k plus k minus 1. Is it? Sorry. Now I need to have the k plus 1. So k plus 1 means you add 4, the next word in memory. So every word is going to be incremented by 4. So the next word is 4. So A of k, this is what I am doing is I keep it in register T2. What I am going to keep is I am going to keep A of 1. Okay, this is register T2. How about register T1? The same thing. No, it's T4, is it? It's okay. Any register you can take it. So T4. Can you get the idea? So I move the value from memory to register using load word. Before that, I need to know the address. I know the base address. Here A1 is the base address. Is it? So to the base address, I need to add the T1. What is T1? T1 is index into 4. Okay, this is the idea. What I am doing here, index into 4. Okay. And what I am doing here, index into 4 plus register A1, which is base address of array. Okay, this is the base address of array. So I move the A of 1 value to register T2 and A of 2 to register S4. Now you can swap them. How to swap them? Move the T2 value to this location. Move the T4 value to this location. Now I am printing the value. Okay, fine. Here it is. Can you see? We swap it already. T2 for the below, T4 for the above. See? T4 for the above, T2 is for the below one. Now you can try to print the values so that you can able to see whether they are swapped or not. And then jump register to move back to the next statement below the jump and link. What is next statement below jump and link? Service, syscall service for service number 10, which is exit the program. So this is what explained in these slides. How does the instructions are written and explanations are given here. And this is somewhat similar, but in my program just now I show you the program. Instead of SLL means shift left logical, I used multiply instruction. It's okay. You can, because what are you doing here? Can you see? You multiply the index by 4. So I straight away use the mul instruction instead of SLL. It's fine, no problem. Okay. So that is about the procedure, and the next example is about the sorting. Okay, whenever you are free, you try that program. There is the MIPS program given there for sorting. So that is the bubble sort. So you can try that. How does it work later? Okay then. Thank you so much.